dun, dun, dun. Oh, I can't dance anymore. Damn it. How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. How are you, Dan?
This is a not Veterans Day episode. Oh man, it's Friday. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
So, where should I go? Yeah, I got 4 vaccinations Wednesday. And I felt like complete hot garbage yesterday.
No, which
I was planning on doing it yesterday, and then I just felt like terrible. Yeah, getting them all at once so that you feel like shit for a day or two, and then you're
Yep.
good for another few years. So, okay, I was gonna show. I have some stuff to show for Veterans Day. I figure why not? But people can come in later. So I have this. Wait, let's see if I can show it. So this is my hoodie from my deployment.
Oh.
Every deployment, they sell merch.
Yep.
Nobody gets away from merch. So this was the that was the mission I was on. So it was like a part of the international mission in Afghanistan. So kind of cool.
Yep.
I wouldn't get that tattooed on me, but so there's that. So I'm going to my box. I have a box of like just random shit from deployments. So
yeah, I also have a couple boxes here and there.
Here is my boonie hat.
Ah, very nice.
So funness.
Yeah, wish I got to be okay.
I didn't wear it too much though. I felt like I looked like an idiot in it. My normal cap.
Yep.
I had I got my captain like right when I was getting out, so I didn't get it sewed on. I just bought the pins for another hat because I was like, I didn't give a shit at that point. I was leaving. So, and then I have. Wait, which one is this? Oh, here's a medal. It's funny, people don't realize they actually give them to you like this. So for each different uniform. So there's the 1, 2, and then there's a third for the various uniforms you get, which is kind of cool. So they've been giving them out like this for a long. Your grandparents got them like that, and then these books. I have like, holy shit, I have like 7 of these. I went through these books like crazy. So constant missions and stuff. Yep. Weatherproof. Fun stuff. This was like my favorite thing I bought. So just a pistol holder.
Yep.
So I modified it because they didn't give like the holder they gave us for our pistols was on our hip, where you would clip it on your thigh. The problem is I'm a convoy officer, like a quartermaster, so we did convoys, and the seats are really small.
Oh yeah.
So for you to sit in those seats and have like a holster on your hip, like it ain't you can't get to it. It's like stuck on your side. So this is a belt holster. So I cut the back, modified it so it would go on my webbing like this. So it was sitting right here. So the other reason I did that is because the locals told me that like some German officers at the airport, and they told me like only officers carry pistols in Afghanistan, or what they're used to seeing. So they're like you want to display your pistol as it's like a sign of authority. So I'm like, okay, put it right here. But it just made sense to put it there so I could like if I had to draw it. So that was
for me it was third hand or second hand rather from like people that were doing convoys over in Iraq. And it was like if you could have like a 240 or a 50 cal on top of a Humvee, and you try and get traffic to move out of the way, and some of them wouldn't care, but you flash a pistol for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like I guess culturally it was the implication of the pistol is the execution weapon, is what I was told. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I believe that.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
apparently
when we ran convoys, that's literally true. You could have a saw or a 240 on a Humvee. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
You stick a 50. So we were running in the city with 50 cals because we always had a 50 cal in the front because when we drive through Kabul, it would get out of the way because they would see the big ass nozzle. Whereas like it's an armored turret, you can't really see a saw, like unless you're right behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we would have 50 cals in the front and back, just for the visibility, people getting away from us.
Yep.
Because again, like if you had a saw in the back, they would tailgate us, and the guy would be constantly telling them to get away. But if you put a 50 cal, they would get the fuck away from us, like the cars. So, and then this, you probably know what this is. This is just a magazine holder for your carbine. I mean, obviously, I didn't keep weapons. So, I don't remember what this is. Oh, shoulder holster. Okay. What else I got? That was the last thing. I haven't looked in this thing in forever. This bag. Oh, I totally forgot I had this. This is my Afghanistan campaign medal that I never wore. It's still in the plastic. I never wore a dress uniform after I came back and got out a few years later. So they gave it to me. It's never came onto the plastic.
I forgot what the website was, but like it had your ribbon rack, and I would check that thing and just
that's such a cool site.
Yeah, like I would like cross my fingers hoping that I didn't get anything, or like if I did get anything, it would all come at once, just so that I'd be in regs and like not have to like it's not a crazy expense, but it's an annoying thing just to go to APs. And
I never did that where you go in and you build like your plaque with your ribbons and your stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah, I didn't do it. I just have like a coin holder with like my coins.
Yeah, some sort of like some people call them a shadow box, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shadow box.
I think mine got a little banged up again, which is sad. Like 2 moves and the thing's been busted up.
I don't know what this one is for. I think this is my state award. Okay. Yeah. That's what I got. There's more. Nobody wants to see that.
I didn't come prepared, so maybe next year.
No, I don't have anything too much. What an interesting week though. This is kind of, I want to see if for people watching, that the last episode talking about the election got demonetized for me. So 30 minutes after I posted it, Google demonetized the video. So I was like, I thought I said the the pandemic word. I thought I said it too many times. So I went through the transcript. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I said it like once or twice. I'm like, usually if you say it a few more times. So I'm like, that wasn't it. So I filed a grievance, and then like 2 days later, magically it got fully monetized. So I'm curious if putting Trump in the title again, if I'll get the same result from Google.
Could be.
They're still butthurt that their candidate lost, I guess. They had Kamala in the bag. Like half her staff worked for Google, I think. They were paying all sorts of money to her campaign. Oof, that's got hurt. But yeah, nothing happened this week, right? Nothing.
No, nothing. Never happens.
No, purely nothing. We had what? Tesla run to crazy heights. Like, look at this. Crazy. It's obviously why people think like Elon's going to get preferential treatment because of his association with Trump, blah, blah. And people just piled into it. Quite the run on it.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing lasts forever. So it's already, 8-9% down from the high. It's kind of at such a ridiculous multiple. But, you're not going to talk anyone out of holding Tesla at this point.
Yeah.
They're so sure about automation and Optimus taking jobs and becoming a productive part of the economy. So the good news is I still, I have SCHG exposure to Tesla, and that's good enough for me. So I don't care to directly hold it.
Yeah.
How long do you think this bromance between Trump and Elon is going to last?
Oh, that is an interesting question.
That's the one I want to know. At what point? Because Trump does not like people that take the spotlight away from him.
Yeah.
right? And he's elected now, so that part of it is over. I don't know. I'm just saying, at some point, this is not going to last forever. This Doge thing, like, it's not a real government job. They can't do anything. All they can do is make like, they can just make like recommendations. Him and Vivek, that's all they can do. So who cares? Kind of getting them away from Trump, but so good for the people that had Tesla. I'm happy for you. Made some good money, but they're going to keep holding because they think it's a $10 trillion company. So be it. And here's Bitcoin, 90,000 now.
Yep.
What a wild run. I don't know what else. Like, I guess I'm a boomer, but you know, I will sit and just watch it do its thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have a lot of interest for me. So I get the thesis, I get what they said, but like, I don't believe in it. So it's one thing I've learned: invest in things you believe in, because then you will hold through the hard times and in the dark times. So if you don't really care for it and you're just buying it just because, like, you're going to bail at some weird point and probably lose money. But I don't know. So far they're making us look like fools, I guess. So those NFL players that bought or had Bitcoin as their salary, good for them.
Yeah.
It was it Akun?
Yeah, some rough times and some good times.
I mean, if they held it through,
yep.
I think it was this guy. Because I remember this guy, it was like 2 years ago. He got half his salary in Bitcoin. And then that was the year OBJ got all of his in Bitcoin. So I don't know if anyone has clarified if they still hold it. I would assume he's still holding it because he was posting, on his Twitter. So I think he still got it. But man, if he still has it, I think they said like that $6 million now like 30 million from what he got for his football career. So that's pretty sweet if that actually happened. I'm happy for him. But I mean, for some people, it's good enough just to say, was it the supply of Bitcoin only goes up like 2% a year? So if you believe there's more demand growth than 2% per year, then by your own logic, you'd say that the price has to go up.
Yeah.
Because the demand's out scaling the supply of Bitcoin. Okay. But not for me. Although I wouldn't hate on someone. I mean, I've said this before. I mean, if you want to like take your like tax refund and just buy Bitcoin with it every year, and you just put it in your wallet, you don't trade it, you just buy like a certain amount, like 1,000 or 2,000 of Bitcoin every year. I mean, what the hell? Why not? It's like any other investment. Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
I still in Strongman server, I'm not. If anyone tries to promote any sort of Bitcoin or crypto investing, I'm not having it. They can talk about crypto all they want. I'm still not having it because you get all the people now that are going to buy it. They have no idea what Bitcoin is. They don't believe in it, but they saw it went up, so they're just going to buy it right at the top, and it might get cut in half. We know next year very well could just be down to 50 again, and then they're going to get wrecked. So be it. Wait, did the fight get? Never mind. I'm not the Tyson fights tonight. That's probably why we're not going to get viewers. Most people are watching the Tyson fight on Netflix, I bet. So this will get reruns. But so other than that, we got some news about like next year's economy. I think there was that enthusiasm, and now the market's dipped a bit because it couldn't keep going up what it did after the election. So we're getting some clarity on some of the cabinet positions.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is going to be a fucking crazy train, man. I don't know if he's going to get through. Honestly, though, this is crazy to have him be the health secretary. I don't know if he'll even pass the Republican Senate. That one, stay tuned. I don't know if they're going to let him through. But Matt Gaetz, holy shit. That dude is going to go on a fucking bender of power if he gets through, which I bet he will. But so he was being investigated by the congressional committee So he was under investigation for, well, people can go read the allegations. I don't want to say them. Pretty bad stuff involving women. So he had potential that he was going to get kicked out of Congress anyways. So I think he probably was demanding a job so he could get out of Congress before he got impeached or something. So that's going to be interesting. He's going to go after some people.
Oh, yeah.
I would not be surprised if they tried to charge the guy for the border. What's his name? The Homeland Secretary.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I would not be surprised if they tried to charge him. Marco Rubio. Did they actually confirm this, or is this still a rumor?
I don't know, but
last I heard it was still a rumor.
Yeah.
So interesting bet. I mean, for a state, like he's the most statesman of these people, so that seems fine. My homegirl from up north, she's not my Congress person. She's the one right north of me, so she deserves. I mean, she could be the first woman president, the way she's going, or a vice presidential candidate. Like, she's very up and coming star. So the first time she won her district, she won by like 1%. Now she's winning it by like 20%. So she's got pretty good backing in New York now. So this is the one. Oh my God. That one shocked people. A TV commentating author, veteran that's been very outspoken about like the Pentagon. That's a very interesting pick. So
quite. And Trump has had an interesting relationship with his defense secretaries in the past. Yeah.
So I want so who do we, was it Secretary Defense? If we go down like the list. Oh, I can't, do I have a list here? Maybe not. I don't see it passed. But the point is, secretaries of defense are not supposed to be like generals. So like when he picked this guy, they had to get like a exemption when they freaking put him through, because the leader of the freaking military is not supposed to be from the military. That's the whole point. We're a civilian run military country. So when they're like, if you're like this guy, wholly unqualified or whatever you want to say, it's like, well, he definitely can be a cabinet secretary, which was the point. We were supposed to have a separation between the military and who's running it, civilian run. So this streak of having generals become secretaries of defense, and everyone would look, well, common sense, you should have them because they know what's going on. I was like, yeah, but that's not really what was intended with the Secretary of Defense. It should not be a general. I think that's not right. The fact that you have to get special permission to have these guys become the Secretary of Defense. So this guy's a veteran, obviously, but not a general. So, combat veteran. Apparently there's some crazy stories like this. Somebody said that he was flagged for a tattoo.
No.
How do you even confirm this nonsense? Okay, like prove it. It's funny because they'll post this story because of somebody emailed them to say that he had some sort of could be considered freaking white supremacy tattoo. It's all like hearsay. Like, I hate how they do that too. It's like, well, this could be like, oh, he might have a tattoo called with this saying, and it's been used by supremacists. I never heard of this term, and I don't know. It's kind of nonsense. It's like, this is such a freaking attack on his character. I just can't stand stuff like this. Why don't you go ask the person rather than these nonsense stories? But I don't know. He said, I saw yesterday, so he doesn't like women in combat roles. He's determined to improve the effectiveness and get procurements back on track. He talked about he wants to streamline procurements in the US, to upgrade our equipment. I'm like, I like that. As owning military stocks. What else? His comments about women in combat is very interesting. Like, he's just like, the combat effectiveness of units has gone down, he said. with women in the military. So, what does he want to do about that? I don't know. And then he wants to get rid of like some of the policies that the Department of Defense has, the woke policies.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to get into too much, but like some of the stuff they've allowed, like I think they allow, someone's going to attack me, like sex changes and all different types of people that enter the military that have never been able to enter before, and interesting times. So
yeah. I do say though that and I'm not, by no means, never have been or even have a good feel of the recruiting space, but there is that push-pull dynamic of, oh, should certain people serve in combat roles? What are we defining as combat roles? And then do we realistically have the bodies to do this? Because
yeah,
we don't, like, yeah, we do have a draft system that everybody has their numbers, but like realistically, odds of a draft being implemented anytime too soon, foreseeably.
I hate when people say, the one thing that annoys me when they say the standard is the standard.
Oh yeah,
that's a dumb thing to say, because the standard changes based on recruiting needs.
Mm-hmm.
So saying the standard is the standard makes no sense. There's been times when the military won't let you in if you say you ever smoked marijuana.
Yep.
Right. When I joined, I said that I smoked marijuana on my enlistment, and they let me in. Right. And then other times in our history, they've not allowed you in on that. We've had times where we've allowed felons to come into the military, and sometimes you can't have any criminal record. So it depends on the times and the recruitment needs of the military.
Yeah.
The standard is a sliding scale. So that's nonsense to say that. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's tough because, like you said, there's the recruiting needs of the military, which are struggling because young people are very unhealthy. They're really struggling to find people that can, run 2 miles under that time. Basically, just a lot of people are not healthy enough to serve in the military anymore. That's the problem. So anyone that can pass those standards, they're trying to scoop them up because we can't meet our recruiting needs. So it's tough for them. It's a balancing act. And like you said, they have to recruit who is out there. You might not like what 15 and 16-year-olds are doing right now, but those are the people we need to get to join the military. And they are different from us. They have different needs. So it's tough. Military recruitment's very tough.
Oh yeah.
Especially when unemployment's so low right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a combination of things. So to say, like, get rid of some of these policies, it's like, well, I mean, it's, if you get rid of some of these policies of accepting certain groups in, then that's going to affect recruiting.
Yeah. And again, I'm not
what do you prioritize, sides, right?
Yeah, just stating, like, the needs and maybe the reality will conflict with some of these objectives. And again, we'll see. I could be wrong. I'm not, again, I don't know the recruiting world, especially these days, to that level. But
I don't think you can pull back from having, now that women are in combat roles.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pull that back. And, they had a point before, because it affected promotion ability. Because when I was in, women couldn't be in combat roles. So like in the National Guard, all the major commands are infantry based. Like, so the brigades are run, and it's an infantry brigade, an infantry division, and these are all the command officers. They're infantry or cav guys. So like I knew as a quartermaster, there was kind of an upper limit to how far I could go, because I couldn't get those jobs. Same thing with the women, like the supporting roles, you just don't have the same promotion opportunity. You're not going to get the same awards. It limits the schools you can go to, because like infantry guys can go to certain schools that non-infantry can maybe get in, but like airborne, air assault. So I don't know how you unring that bell. And we have, some of the best fighter pilots in the US are women.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that was
just had a Silver Star recipient.
Yeah.
I think she shot down like friggin' 100 drones or something in Iran, Israel. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Because that is where I highlighted, what is a combat role?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, because like I mean, yeah, you've done convoys, and I don't know when you did or how hairy things got or how bad things got, but in theory and on paper, I could see someone being like, "Oh, convoy roll. That's non-combat," and some convoys get pretty scary out there.
Yeah, as we roll down the road with our own armored Humvees and armored 5 tons, and we didn't have security. We were our own security. Infantry guys were not there for us. Yeah, and we had women. We had some really good, solid, friggin' upstate New York women, friggin' awesome truck drivers. So,
yeah, that's just one of those things where I kind of chuckle when people say, "Oh, combat role," with this broad, nebulous term, and just wipe their hands and they're like, "Yeah, case closed."
I don't think I had too many of them be gunners on the turrets. I don't remember any of them. I think most of them just were driving the trucks. It wasn't a conscious decision by me, I don't think. I just kind of placed people where I thought they were best suited.
Yeah.
So like most of my women were just really good truck drivers, straight up. So I didn't want to like put them in a turret because they were really good at driving like the friggin' armored Humvees or armored 5 tons, which is a tough vehicle to drive.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy, to how to turn it. Yeah. And
armored
you swing that big 5 ton.
Oh yeah.
And when you get to a certain point in the turn, you just let the steering wheel go. Because if you keep holding it and it goes, it'll break your hand. Because when you get halfway through the turn, if you let go, it whips really fast. And if you're still holding it and you learn that quickly. And then you grab it again once it stops spinning really fast. But that's how I drove anyways. But
yeah,
whatever.
I noticed one like random thing that for whatever reason seemed to happen with training was like they'd find the smallest girls and women and would make them the light machine gun gunners for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I hated the saw. I swear to God.
Oh yeah, screw the saw. The saw
was a piece of shit. It jammed, and it didn't sound impressive, so it didn't scare anybody.
Yep.
And it looked so pathetic in a turret.
Yeah.
The saw, it ain't scaring nobody. Like that thing was pathetic. Like I hated saws. We tried not. We eventually we just stopped using them. We just put them in the armory. We just stuck 50s and 240s.
But your magazine for your M4 or M16 can be used on that.
That was a stupid. Yeah. Shoot a clip off in 1 second. That's so useful. But they're getting rid of that thing because no one liked it. But I guess the only other big thing was with the Trump appointments and policy. I think they've already indicated that they're going to get rid of the EV tax credits, which some people say, oh yeah, like this is going to hurt Elon, but it's like, I don't think this is going to hurt Tesla because they're the only company that's profitably selling EVs. I'm pretty sure nobody else is selling for profit. They're either breaking even barely or and with the tax credit. So this is probably really good for Tesla because his competition, man, they barely could scrape by on their EVs. And I don't think they were profitable. I think, Ford wasn't profitable. Rivian's not profitable. GM might be breaking even on their EV business, probably losing money. So getting rid of the credit. And then also if they get rid of the mileage, if the EPA pulls back on their mileage requirements for the fleets, right? So then the legacy auto companies, I hate that word, but they won't have such an incentive to make EVs if they change that requirement. So they might just go back to their old business, hybrids and gas cars, just to stay there as long as they can because it's a cash cow for some of them. So I mean, this is positive direction for Elon. I mean, his competition's now, I think, going to be the Chinese manufacturers. The Koreans actually are good players in EVs like Hyundai and Kia. Also, some of the European Volkswagen is going to keep going. They're not going to pull back on this. So we're talking like Stellantis, General Motors, Ford.
Yeah.
They're probably going to scale back significantly their EV manufacturing, which I know Ford already did. I think General Motors will. Stellantis might go bankrupt. Chrysler is always a piece of garbage. So I wouldn't trust anything Chrysler.
Stop the presses if you've heard.
Let's say what you call the company. Yeah, stay away from Chrysler products and stock.
Yeah,
it's a disaster.
Every so many years, bankruptcy talks end up happening.
Yeah. Just roll the dice every year if they're going to go bankrupt again. And then they change their name because they come out of court. And they still make crappy cars no one likes. Ooh, let's see. My sister signed her contract with the Army the day that the Army lifted the ban on women in the front line. So she's the first woman in history to be on the front line. Hey, very nice.
History being made.
I'm going to find who that is after this. I'll cyber stalk your sister.
I won't.
No, but that's great. No, I thought it was like when finally like a woman passed the Ranger course. Like that's crazy impressive. There are, it's just hard because they'll pull some study out that'll be like, oh, combat effectiveness went down when women got put into units. It's like, do we really have enough data to make like big conclusions on this yet? Or just preliminary stuff? And like, okay, you got infantry, but then we're also talking like they're, combat arms means like artillery and tanks and Apache pilots, right? I don't think anyone's going to say that they perform lesser in like helicopters and airplanes. So it's tough. Like you can't pull back all. It's probably an all or nothing thing, right? You can't just say, oh no, they can't be in the infantry, but all the other combat arms are fine. It's like that's not. It's all or nothing at this point. Oh, she was artillery.
Hey,
I think if he tries that, if he tried to pull them out, like I just don't think you can unring that bell.
No,
I just don't.
Again, if the requirements are that high and recruiting is that difficult, like
anybody that wants to serve this country, like God bless you.
Oh yeah.
We
like
need them all. And for when people cite like 40 years ago, oh, it's different now. It's like, no shit, it's different. They have to get these kids, like they have to, change recruiting to get the kids in, to some degree. Okay. Trump. Yeah. So he's going to end the tax credit. I think that's pretty much going to happen. I don't think Republicans are going to support this tax credit for EV sales. Maybe they drop. I don't know. I think it's gone. I'm like 95% sure it's gone. Solar credit, probably gone.
Yeah.
I don't see why they would keep the solar credit. That one, yeah. So goodbye solar companies. It's like, and we've talked to Andrew, man, there's a lot of shitty, like really crap solar companies in America that literally would not have even been created. Like my brother worked for one of these companies for a year. And he's like, this guy didn't know anything about solar. And all he jumped into the solar business because he saw all the insane tax credits and money that was being given to him by like the state and the federal government to install these units. So the guy jumped in it just to get as much tax credits as he could. And then he's probably out of the business now. Like it was pretty much a scam what this guy was doing. That's where a lot of this is. Cause it's not like a real business that was like created by the demand of the market. It was created by government incentive to have all these propped up, solar companies putting, solar on our roofs and stuff. And then you had companies that wanted to be green. So then they would install solar on the roofs of their buildings, which some of them caught fire and then they don't even use it, but it's still up there. So they did it not to save money, but they did it to get like green points as a corporation. That's why I always thought if you're going to buy these solar companies, buy the corporate ones, because they're not necessarily doing it to make money. The companies that are installing it, it's like politically and corporate motivated. So residential, it's like such a flip it business. Like you either save people money on the utilities or you don't, right? It's very cut and dry. If you're a homeowner, why would you put solar panels on your roof unless it saves you money? Yeah. So that's going to be gone. And then we have nuclear investments that it's still a thing though. I think nuclear is still a very good thesis. But we've looked at some that some of them are weird. Like they have no profits. They have barely any revenue. They don't even own any nuclear assets, but it's a nuclear company. And you're like, what the hell? Like some of them, it's very confusing what the hell they even do. Was it this one? Like,
oh,
like nano nuclear energy. I looked at this thing. I'm like, what the hell what is this even for? This company? It's so stupid. Oh,
yeah.
it's scary. Is it shortable though? Like, silly things can run and do stupid,
Oh, yeah.
companies that don't make money can survive and
Mm-hmm.
survive for a long time. And then there's the Sam Altman company, which it doesn't make any money. Like last or quarter revenue 0. Okay.
Oh, it's a great sign.
But look, like, Sam Altman slaps his name on this, doesn't he? And then it goes up. So there's other ones we've seen. Nuclear is so hot right now, right? The cool kid in this school. But some of this is nonsense, I think. But the Talon investment's interesting because it's a real nuclear power plant. They have data center connections. So there's something there. It's very interesting. I don't know if there's any more to buy. I don't think I would buy it over 200. But I don't know. I'm happy with. I wish I'd bought more, but 170 was okay. And then, so we got data centers, nuclear, still thriving. I don't know why people keep looking for a bubble. There's no bubble. I still think data centers is a perfectly good investment thesis all the way through next year because a lot of them have already earmarked the orders all the way through 2025. So, Aeon is still crushing it. Oh, it's dipped a little this week. Yeah. I could not believe when I say again, like 58% increase in their data center cooling business last quarter, year on year. Holy shit. Like unbelievable. Like I'm so glad I bought it. On that. These people like, oh, 1 quarter, and then they'll make these broad statements about companies. And we've seen other YouTubers do this. 1 bad quarter does not make a company.
No.
But then they'll just be like, then they'll do their DCF where you take that 1 quarter that was bad and then you do a projection like that. It's always going to be like that. The companies can have 1 bad quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Go read the management notes. They will tell you what happened, right? And, obviously they want to sugarcoat it, but they'll tell you if it's short term or what happened. Like customers are scaling back their orders. Are they canceling the orders, or did they delay the orders, or did they scale them back, or what happened? Why are the orders bad? They will tell you, or they should, if they shouldn't like deny that. So there is a big difference. But so I know I can buy a company on a dip. There was the dip right there. And I remember too, because I was eyeballing it for like 2 years, because I always wanted this to be the third leg. And then when it went from 90s down to the 70s, I'm like, jackpot, it's mine now. So everything's so damn expensive. I don't know. This is the one though that I'm thinking about.
Oh,
everything's so damn expensive these days. So okay, what is shit, right? What is not done well in this market? And it's like, okay, Dollar General, new CEO, right? Inventory has not gone crazy out of control, so we don't have the problem that Nike did, where they were living in denial and their inventory just kept scaling up and they thought they could get out of it somehow. They didn't have that here. They're not crazy in debt, but they have, they're talking about like increasing efficiencies, I think, and expansion. I don't think they're doing share buybacks like they were in the past for now. So I think the big part, like if consumer sentiments can improve, you'll get a pop on this. I think if we get some report that's like, people in the demographic that shop here are like improving and spending more, boom, which we haven't gotten yet. So that's why it's in the dumps. It's like you're not getting your affirmation of that thesis because it hasn't happened. And if it doesn't, so then it's like, so if that does happen, this could pop. If we don't get that sentiment, how much lower could it possibly go at this point? I mean, so that's kind of what I was figuring out this week. I think it's worth a small shot. I don't think the upside is so crazy on it though. Look at me with the boomer stocks, Dollar General.
Yeah, but it works. Who cares? If it works, it works.
It's friggin' slim pickings these days. I like what the hell. Like, anyone, like whatever stock you want to ask, it's going to be like, Jesus Christ, it's expensive. Like everything is like so high. I think that's pretty much anything you want to talk about.
On the stonk front, no, wait, we already talked about Crocs before in the last live stream, so no real need there.
What Crocs do this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't great, and again, it's been volatile. So again, we covered it last live stream. So there's
Oh,
no
come
real
on.
need. Do we? Do you want to?
Croc clogs. I don't want to buy anymore. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, same here. It's been at a responsible position for some time, for me, so it's fine. Can do what it does.
I'll keep it. I'm still 200 or bust. It's fine. But Nexstar Media is gone.
Oh yeah, that's right. How did that one?
I thought about holding it longer till the next quarter because that would be the final quarter of the election revenue. But I don't know. I just got sick of it. So I had it okay. I sold it at like one. It was like 2 week. No, it was like a 5-day. I sold it last week. Let's get 160. I think it was 167. So I had a cost basis of 140. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping it was going to go over 200 on the election, which I mean, obviously, well, you don't time the tops ever.
No, but
you think you're going to.
Yeah, it's fine. Ultimately, you made money on it. It was a trade.
So the people that always gripe that I talk about all wins, there you go. Because I get that comment, all he talks about is winning. It's like, okay, there you go. This was not a great investment. It was like a 16% gain over a year and a half. So that is not great. But people can have at me. What was the other? Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy. I'm not in a rush to buy anything speculative.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, really, my best ideas this year were Aeon and Master Brands. I don't really have anything new other than those two this year. Yeah. Everything this year other than that's been short-term specs stuff. So it's really the whole year, 2 new investments. Everything else has been like buying a little bit of more Northrop Grumman, and yeah. I thought about RCAT and I chickened out. This company, I don't know. Although now it's run up a bit, so I'm an idiot. But it's one of those small, like we talked about this during our military episode, where it's like these types of military contractors, it's like all or nothing. They're living on like they either get the contract or they don't, which is kind of terrifying because if they don't get it, what you think they're going to get, then you could get like a Workhorse situation, right?
Oh yeah.
Everyone was so sure Workhorse was going to get the contract for the post office vehicle, and they didn't. And that's what you worry about with stuff like this Red Cat's holding. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to get the drone contract that they're trying to get right now with DoD. It's like I don't want to live and breathe on these types of defense companies. I'm old enough. I just want to stick with the big ones that I like, that still perform really well. But interesting speculation. So, anyways, I will try and do better. Now I'm moved back into my office, and hopefully things get less crazy. Do some real research on some stonks. So,
yeah.
See, it's the hard part of being like a real investor on YouTube. Like two investments this year, other than indexing this whole year. So what are we? We're in the 11th month of this year. I've bought 2 individual stocks that I'm holding long term. So it's like, if you want to make a YouTube channel where you make like 2 videos a week, it's like I can't make content out of a cabinet company and an air conditioning company. So I don't know what else to say about them other than talk 10 minutes each. So anyways,
Yeah, because all I did with my portfolio, somewhere around like somewhere in the middle of Q2, middle of Q3, between there, was like take some winnings and rebalance. That was really about it.
Yeah.
Like my portfolio is pretty boring right now.
Some of the shorting's been really fun though.
It has, but yeah.
Should I even post? I posted it jokingly with Dex because he keeps winning, but yeah,
that man's a madman. I don't know how, but he's
no.
done it.
My spec account like 300 something percent. Should post the clip. People are gonna. I have to post proof now, don't I?
It's your channel. Yeah, I'd say whatever you'd like. You're not really like hardcore monetizing off the audience, so I don't see what the problem is.
Find it. I'm really happy about DLN's performance. That made my year. Even though it's not 300%, it's like 20%. It still made my year because this is like my biggest. Like I put money in my dividend account every week. And this is most of the time, this has been what I've bought for the last like over a year. Like, how could you not love that? Like, this is my favorite thing. Like, I don't care if it's not the greatest performing investment I made, but 20% on a monthly paying dividend investment I can hold the rest of my life. So I love this thing. It's my favorite ETF. So all it does is pay dividends monthly. So they vary obviously because it's just whatever companies it holds that pay that month, they give you the money. So it's all qualified. And every month it's different because it's different cycles. So, and then at the end of the year, they always have like an extra bump, like they hold some in reserve, I think. And then the last one in December is always like way bigger than the other distributions. So you get like a Christmas bonus for owning this thing. So, and people are gonna say, "Oh, it didn't perform." Well, SPY did 30%. Well, go to hell. Okay, and it has a higher cost expense. Again, go to hell. I don't care. It makes me happy. It's all that matters. And I don't question if it's overvalued, like some of you friggin' fake index investors. I swear to God, lately, you're an index investor, and then they'll go on Reddit and they'll be like, "The stock market's overvalued, man. What do I do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna time the market? Are you an indexer or are you not?
Yep.
Just buy the damn thing every week if you are. Shut your dirty mouth." So, like time individual stocks. The index, come on, just freaking buy it. What are you gonna do? Hold it for what? What are you holding it for? You're gonna hold your cash for what? Some 10% drop that never happens. So they've been saying it's overpriced or overvalued or whatever they say since 2012. I've seen people gripe about it. Yeah. All right, I can't believe we got almost an hour. So yeah, people are watching the fight tonight, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. I can't wait to see if Google demonetizes. Wait, Trump. Okay, now we can see if it's in the title too. So I want to see what happens. Those goddamn people. But it'll be a fun year. My friend, I was just talking to one of my AMD friend, another Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
He is bailing on a bunch of his stocks. He's texting me on Signal right now. So yeah, he sold like a big chunk of all his. He thinks next year is going to go to shit with Trump as president.
Wait, real? What?
Yeah, huh. He's a big Democrat though. So
okay.
Yeah. I feel what he's saying, like his concerns. Fair enough. I don't need to fight people that have different opinions than me.
Yeah. To me, I just kind of raise an eyebrow. Like I'm not here to like worship the guy or to demonize the guy. I just kind of just shrug.
We'll see when we get him as president. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
he's trying to lower. The first thing he's going to do is probably his tax plan, which was kind of like his first thing in 2016.
Yeah.
I think that'll be his main effort is the tax plan he's going to push through. That'll be popular. Tariffs, man, I don't know how the tariff thing is going to go.
Yeah.
It's easy for him to say tariffs on everything, but we'll see when the rubber hits the road next year if they're really going to do the tariff. Because in 2016, what was it? They did like very targeted tariffs, I think.
Yep.
It was like aluminum and steel. Not what they're talking about now, like whole sweeping tariffs. I guess we'll see. Be an interesting year. Hey, if the market dips, buy more. Index forever. Pick your shots with your stocks if you want.
Yeah.
So master brands will come. Its time will come.
Yeah, it's one of those. Well, go ahead.
I would buy more if it got under 16, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one where I personally, when I got into it, I figured I can be patient.
It almost hit 20 at one point, which was fun.
Yeah, that was funny.
But I don't know how you could think that. I mean, housing's not back yet.
No. It's going to take time. And
yeah, there's no housing recovery. So like some of the housing suppliers have run up like crazy levels, and you're like, it's like this weird enthusiasm, like, and they mistime it. And I don't know. I bet this. Where's this? The most psychotic stock ever. Look at this thing.
Yeah, it's hold on to your seats.
Freaking crazy man stock. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to buy a construction real estate stock, you kind of just have to hold it and clinch, because it's probably going to be a year plus before you see that bounce back. And these companies have all said like second half of 25 is when they think the market will recover. A lot of them, like you could see in their comments. So there's nothing expected for a while. And this was before the election. They were saying second half 25. So, but it has to recover at some point. Mm-hmm. The housing market's been going down or sideways for a while, and it has like we have to get housing construction back on the rails. So, but if you find these companies and they also have like a product for climate change, like type like hurricane windows or something, then that adds you an extra wrinkle where it's like you can benefit from changes the building codes, in addition to like increases in construction. But I'm just mad that one company taken from me.
Oh yeah. Right. You had a few sniped from underneath you.
Well,
yeah.
M&A is coming back with a vengeance. You can bet on that.
Yep.
M&A, like any, makes you think about some of these mergers that have been like denied.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like Tapestry. You think they go after that? Capri. Do they go round 2 once Trump comes back? There's going to be some big M&A activity when he comes in, and there's Linda Khan's out. Oh yeah.
That was such a silly one to go after. Like in my opinion, like even if like Tapestry were to gut Capri Holdings, just
it did work out though for actually the merger not to go through, because Gucci is really not good sales.
Oh yeah.
Their sales have been terrible. So from when that started, the merger talk to like the end of it, like Gucci's sales fell off a cliff, I guess, and that's why the stock, as soon as the merger canceled, the one that owns, which one is it? Is it Capri? Who owns?
I want to say so. I think it's Capri, if I recall correctly.
I never freaking remember which company is which. Is it Capri? Yeah, the one that owns Gucci like tanked, right? And then they
own Versace. Never mind. So not Gucci. I forgot.
Oh, Versace. Okay.
Yeah.
I got my brands. I got my damn brands wrong.
Oh, I did as well.
I'm not exactly. Yeah. Okay. It was. I kept saying Gucci. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Versace. Yeah, Versace's went off a cliff.
Yep.
So Tapestry went up. Capri went down.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But all the luxury brands are doing terrible right now. Terrible.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Unless they're the supreme of the supreme.
I remember like I had an episode where I was looking at LVMH and I was really interested. And then it popped on the China news. And I just like, well, that's I don't buy the China recovery. So I'm not going to buy it now. Because if you're pricing in a China recovery with LVMH, I'm out. Because I didn't believe it. So I like all my research stopped at that point. And then I got some interesting info from somebody who messaged me, which it's interesting, but it's a big, complicated company. And I was like, do I really want to get involved in understanding this thing? Do I think it's going to beat the S&P? I at this point, I don't know. I guess you'd have to time the very bottom for this to be a good investment.
Yeah.
But it's just there's so much involved. There's all the brands, the different products, from champagne to freaking watches, and then they have real estate you have to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm at this point where I just want to file this under just too much time to understand. So, but there's other Hermes.
Oh yeah.
Hermes, Hermes, right?
Yeah,
Hermes?
that one. Yeah, that one gets filed under.
So now we got the other one, also
luxury.
beat up. Similar problems LVMH had, however, much easier business to understand, I think.
Yeah.
So you got purses, repair. Yeah, they have like a repair business. They have the scarves. So, one of the modiest companies in the world.
Yep.
So this one's more interesting, but I guess that'd be a different topic. Two military people talking about designer scarves, I guess. I should buy one if I'm going to talk about it in an episode. I'll buy a Hermes scarf.
I wouldn't be able to buy jack.
I'll cut it in half and then I'll mail you the other half. And then then they will hate us, but then they will respect the grind. So whatever. I should get one. They look the process, the videos of like on YouTube, how they make them. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I love just how they like the arts, the craftsmanship of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like undeniable.
Like the bespoke shoes and scarves, anything handmade like that. Like it's just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, that should be it. We blathered enough.
makes you want to dust off the old sewing skills.
It's hard, like investment wise, like what do you talk about until like it's all just like waiting for Trump to take power at this point, because we got the end of the year is only a month and a half away.
Yeah,
it's kind of just get yourself ready for next year at this point. I honestly, I might just take some money and cash out some short-term stuff. I probably will get rid of my only options right now. I have the puts on Open and B. Riley, so I'm probably staying out of options for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Nexstar is gone. I'm gonna Crocs. I'm keeping Crocs. I don't care. I like owning it. So
yeah,
I don't have a lot of short-term stuff.
Yeah, my short-term stuff by and large is pretty boring and at boring percentages. So
yeah, if I do Dollar General, it'll be in the short-term basket. I'm not going to be a long-term investor in Dollar General. It could be something just for next year, because I could see it going from 75 to like over 100 next year. I don't know. More to think about. Talon, I'll probably bail on Talon soon. I know that there's the potential, if it gets bought out, it could be like $300. So maybe I just sell half of it. Yeah. All right, we're at an hour. Didn't think we could do an hour, but thank you for joining.
Yep. Thanks for having me on.
For everyone watching the Tyson fight, enjoy. I hope Tyson doesn't get killed, because I think Jake Paul is going to knock his ass out. Age is undefeated. That's all I'm saying. But
yeah, old father time.
Yeah. So thank you, and we will see you later.